Hello guys, it is that panda guy, and if I sound a little bit different, it's because I am sick and I was waiting for a day or two to actually start uploading my videos again because I wanted to, I wanted to wait until I started feeling better, and I am feeling a bit better. So I thought I was gonna voice over this video, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this. So let's hop into it. So this was actually this is gonna be a mix of clips from the start to end of the island raid in G4, and this one was near the beginning actually when BTW and SLF was clashing, and I guess SLF ended up getting pushed back and their level 6 was taken from them. I will say SLF did a good job defending, but they did make, of course, mistakes. Like you even see that tower right there, it was placed so far out and they weren't able to take field control, so going for it was just like a struggle. All in all, SLF was just in a really bad spot, being, they just had less troops, right? Although, even if I don't even know if they were trading well. For example, on a tower like this, I will say the numbers look like they're in SLF's favor, but even then, they're using Lee and Lewis as defensive commanders to hold a swarm. And I mean, of course, this probably wasn't planned for, but nonetheless, like you definitely have to, have like a proper garrison captain, especially when like there, like if there's even if there's a rally on it, I'm not sure Lee would be the like proper choice to hold a rally, right? Like he's more of a field commander for me. I mean, he does work as maybe a siege, but if you're defending, I just don't see that being the best option. I mean, Lewis in any case is a decent option, one for his like just circular AoE. He has really good skill damage, overall pretty good, but I think Lee is more, he's definitely more built for field, if anything. So I don't know, just seeing him on a lot of these garrison captain defenses was really weird to me. I mean, definitely could have chosen worse, but I mean, it was whatever. You definitely should have like Tom or Rigor or just something holding that, especially when you're taking a swarm like that. And also, you guys will see here a lot of AoE like caught in the crossfire here from like Lewis dishing out AoE, just disgusting. And these guys aren't watching their marches; they're gonna slowly melt to death. So honestly, even if these guys are taking positive trades on the like garrison, like they're taking bad trades in general because all these marches just sitting around are taking AoE hits, like just taking backward slabs. I will give it to BTW. Like the strongest point I feel like they have is the fact that they're really good at field control. Like I noticed that like pretty regularly that, compared to, for example, AC18 or even Vin, although they would lose trades on towers against these guys, if it came to field control fighting, they probably would have won in any case. Like it just, I don't know, just from what I was seeing. Also, I don't know if you guys can see like the trades like progressively getting better. It's just these guys aren't able to keep this thing full, so the trades get worse and worse over like the period. But against alliances like AC18 or even Vin, even though these guys are pretty good or have just infinite numbers of troops, I felt like at some point, these guys just aren't able to they aren't able to hold anything properly because the trades they're taking is just too bad. I mean, you guys will see it later in this video when they're holding a, I think it's an outpost. Like the trades are terrible on it. I will say they ended up trading positive actually overall because Vin was like really made a big mistake, and I was trying to tell them to stop, but they didn't listen. But Vin basically swarmed the outpost down, and like a lot of these players were really low in tech, and I think they were just impatient and ended up just losing, I feel like, millions of troops, honestly, or just at least a few 100,000 troops. Like it was definitely a disgusting report to watch or read, but I mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes players just don't get the cues and they want to go dog wild. I swear, guys, I keep hearing like a lawnmower outside every time I change location, and I keep trying to change location and continue my video. Also, this was a little bit further on in the event. I think I'd ran 3 accounts around, and I was actually attacking their gathers because, they had been hitting ours, and I was like, whatever. And then they ended up coming on the field. I think some people started teleporting in, Um, I'm 99% positive that I traded like I definitely traded positive on my Pandy account. I'm not 100% sure about my alts, but overall I do think like, it's just a matter of tech gap that just made it hard for these guys to, trade super positive. Though a lot of their players are like pretty decent tech, or at least like high tier 5 or, just mid tier 5. So I think these guys, did trade pretty well for, what they were facing, and they definitely have good field presence. Like that's what I keep mentioning, and they are able to, just I feel like they definitely heal just so much to be able to maintain this throughout the whole event. At least towards the end, they were struggling more, I guess, because they were garrisoning so much, and it was probably burning through them. and they just started burning out, pretty hard, especially like near the end, because you guys are going to see some insanity where SLF and Vin actually work together and try to cut these guys off and do manage to take their level 6 back, as well as their BTW's level 7 outpost. So these guys definitely got pushed back pretty hard, but they did manage to hold on and keep their level 6 village somehow. It was the last day of the event though, and these guys were really trying to push. Vin had built into their outpost. I will give it to BTW. They probably could have done. I'd say like they could have tried to hold off SOF a bit more and kind of prevent them for going to their level 6 village. But I will say they did definitely hold for a good hour, I think, on that last level 6 village, like near it, on those towers around it, to try to like, I guess, just prevent them from moving forward. Vin does burn down all these towers over here, and they end up, just burning all these bases and getting a mad amount of kills. And you guys are gonna see the reports here in a second for this outpost or whatever. But either way, you guys kind of get the point. Like I will give it to BTW though. They did an amazing job holding. Like they were definitely holding those towers like no tomorrow. And Vin was just struggling to make it there in time because there was such a limited amount of time for them to actually build. And by the time they did connect to the last tower to their territory, I think the event actually ended up like finishing, right? So that was actually really unlucky in the case of Vin. They just weren't able to build fast enough, and SLF was on a clock. They had to, beat them out of these towers in a certain amount of time. So SLF was actually like, I think, double, triple rallying different towers, just trying to, get them out as soon as possible and spread their garrisons into too many. And even if BTW ended up losing on one tower, they would instantly repair that tower. And they would just start defending it because either way, like even if they ended up losing those towers, I'm pretty sure they had a secondary way to just defend. So SLF was definitely doing everything they could to take their level 6 village and cut these guys off from any rewards. But BTW definitely held on pretty hard, and I gotta give them a round of applause for that. They were definitely resilient, and just, I don't know, I feel like these guys had infinite troops, like just with how much fighting they were doing this whole event. It was kind of mad. And I know they also placed pretty high in their last event, because I do remember seeing them on the leaderboard, and I was like, man, this isn't even like a massive alliance, because like the top players in BTW are maybe like around 80 million, or at the time they were like 70 million maybe. But I mean, it's kind of crazy, like definitely just a matter of field control and numbers. These guys definitely coordinate pretty well, which is a big plus on their part. I don't know, man. I feel like you guys are gonna definitely judge me for how I'm talking right now. Like I am so sick, guys. I'm actually not joking. I sounded way worse like just a day or two ago though. So I'm actually glad I sound this much better, because you guys would definitely clown me, or you'd just be judging me. Also, I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but BTW was trying to get these towers down and prevent them from progressing, but they weren't able to build these towers. And I mean, they were also defending with heroes like Cynthia, and that is not a defensive hero, especially if you're going to get your towers swarmed. You are not putting out no just counter damage that's worth it. So overall, these guys were definitely in a really bad situation. SOF was able to instantly get 20 minutes on their building towers, whereas BTW was way further behind, and that gave SOF way more time to actually kind of put pressure on these towers before they could fully build. And in the case of BTW, they did manage to get this one tower down, I'm pretty sure. So that was a big plus, and that would gain them another like 10-20 minutes, even if they didn't defend this tower, right? Because this tower would just be burning, and it would take them forever to burn it. And I will say that, of course, they did end up defending it, but this was just to prevent them from progressing anymore, because they definitely like are just in a really bad situation, and they're getting hit from so many sides that it's a struggle. So every like hour that they're able to hold on is too massive, because at this point I'm pretty sure they had 2 hours left, and they have to hold this thing for 2 hours. So where I said like 1 hour of defending, they definitely held for 2 hours, because you guys kind of see it in the top there. I think reset, of course, is at just 00 UTC. Is 22 UTC right there. And it also says 2 hours in that event in the top like right corner. So you guys kind of get the point, right? Like these guys definitely held on for a pretty long time, especially considering how many towers they had hold for how long. And I will also give it to SLF for just being so persistent to win this, that even though I feel like they were definitely trading pretty bad on a lot of these towers, they still just kept these rallies full to keep the pressure up and hopefully push them off. And Vin was just unfortunate at the like in the case of trying to reach there in time, though Vin of course did burn out a lot of BTW bases. So I mean, BTW did win this fight, but it's a question if they won the war or not. You know, it was definitely a struggle for them, but you know, everybody definitely took some wins here. Everybody managed to get their village or slash outpost. So I mean, even if BTW did lose them, they still kept their level 6 village. So I do feel like for them, in a sense, this was a win, you know? So overall, I do think that this was pretty entertaining. And I hope everybody did have fun, because this was just fun to watch, you know, like how intense it was. Hopefully, I will be posting another video with this one today. I'm not 100% sure, because I mean, I'm not decided on if I will or if I'll wait till tomorrow when I'm feeling a bit better. I am trying to clear out my camera roll, because I think maybe 2 more videos I can do off, you know, my islands in G2 and maybe even G1. And you know, I'm trying to get these out as soon as possible, because there's an island raid coming again next week, and you know, I do think that they should put more time between each island, just because, like, especially for the average player, it is way harder for them to grow, because you know, like, I feel like you only have time to heal up or just, you know, get yourself back on your feet for the next island, and then you're back to fighting, and you aren't able to, you know, put speed ups into research or anything, unless, you know, you just aren't going to be able to heal, right? Because you're going to be needing your speed ups to actually freaking heal. It's just stupid. But overall, you know, I will be trying to empty out my camera roll as soon as possible, because you know, whenever I'm fighting an island, I feel like my camera roll definitely gets pretty full, because I am, you know, recording G1, because you know, that's definitely like the most interesting island, and I do think a lot of people enjoy that. So overall, I am trying to, you know, film G1 for you guys. I am trying to film my own island. If I'm splitting into 2 islands, I'm recording that one as well. It is definitely a struggle, and I will be trying to hopefully keep you guys entertained. So I hope you guys will enjoy those videos as well. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the trades at the end there, but that was pretty disgusting. Honestly, the second that ends up happening, I would just try to mastery call out of the tower. You know, if you aren't able to keep it full and you're just taking disgusting trades, maybe try to just dump out if you aren't able to get anybody over there to reinforce it. You know, like this tower, these guys were definitely trading pretty bad as the rally. At least for a while there, I think they're having I feel like they're having they're having a problem keeping this thing full. You know, overall, like, it was just a struggle. I will say, like I said, these guys, all they had to do was keep repairing these things, and they were just solid, right? They just had to keep these things repaired, and they couldn't really do much, you know, like, as long as they stopped the fires and just held on as long as possible, they were doing good. SLF, of course, you see them right there. They were trying to build around, but they ended up destroying that tower, because you know, they noticed that they were blocking off Vin from progressing, so they destroyed that, and then they started trying to build around the back towards the level 6 village, which honestly I thought would have taken it. Also, I'm not sure why I'm on my G4 account. I think something was happening, and you know, I kind of swapped. But yeah, all in all, they weren't really able to do much. They didn't have enough time, and time was not in there. Like, it just wasn't on their side. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. The video is coming to an end. So I do appreciate you guys, as always, for watching, and peace out, and have an amazing day or night. Thank you guys.